All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, we moved over here a little bit. Well, welcome again to Atwater. This is our November District 1 breakfast. We have some good information today and a couple of awesome entrepreneurs to give you some information on. We'll get started today with updates on our fire department.
Where the mic is plugged in, that's the only one.
Good morning. My name is Lieutenant Holscher. I'm the lieutenant over at Station 10, 21st and Chautauqua. Basically, October kind of, and District 1 kind of happened like we expected. There was an increase in fires as the temperature gets colder. That does happen. Citywide, there were 17 investigatable events. That doesn't mean that there was only 17 fires across Wichita. It means that those 17 met the criteria for us to call out the investigators to do their due diligence. If it's just a simple trash can, that usually doesn't qualify unless it's got some arson attached to it. District 1 had 6 of those 17 fires, and the dollar values turned out to be structural was $140,000 worth of damage, and contents was $38,000. Is that out of the ordinary for October? No. Like I said, as it gets colder, September, October, we do see a jump in fire events. A couple things that are going on with the department that will relate to everybody. We have started a new recruit class. So if you see firefighters with red t-shirts, usually we wear blue t-shirts. If they're red t-shirts and they have a bright blue helmet, that's one of our recruits. They're learning what we do. They're going through a 14-week class right now. We have recently purchased, I believe we are in the process of purchasing a hazardous materials truck. I believe there's a couple more signatures left on that this month, and then that will be sent off. So the city will be getting a new hazardous materials truck. Very excited about that because we are the hazardous materials station for the city of the 21st. So we have a special bill for that. I believe rescue team comes next. Just looking to improve our specialty type alarms. The other thing, everybody knows that tonight we turn our clocks back, fall back. This is also a very good time to check your smoke detectors, check the batteries. I'm not sure where the city is funding, but there's always the option to call downtown and see if we have batteries or see if we have smoke detectors. That number I can give is 268-4510. And be patient. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It all depends on donations, depends on shipments, but we do our best. So, any questions? Thank you, everybody. Have a good breakfast. Oh, yes, ma'am. Hi.
Okay, you said we had 6 out of 17.
Yes, ma'am.
How does that stack with the rest of the city?
Well, you won. You won. District 1 had 6. The next was District 6, which had 4, and everybody else had either 2 or 1. Being the heart of the city, this District 1 is a population center. I mean, there's a lot of people that live there, so when District 1 has the most significant, or the highest number, it can be expected. I always try when I get up here to relay, when we're not the highest, I'll brag to you about it. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So, about, I think maybe last month, was that Sergeant People was here, they came here and report about the smoke detectors and things of nature, so, he was gonna check into, replenishing or building fire extinguishers and stuff for those things.
Fire extinguisher detectors.
Fire extinguishers, and give him a little homework, so he was gonna be checking on that. So if you wouldn't mind, just remind him, he's
I
gonna
can
come
pass
back
that.
and report.
You said that was that Chief Bevis?
What was his name, Brad?
Wasn't Bevis.
Was it one of our guys?
Stewart,
Was it
Stewart,
Yeah.
Lieutenant, it's Stewart.
Chief Bevis, he's the fire marshal?
If you email me, then I can put it in the next updates.
Yeah, that'd be great, I'll get that taken care of.
Yeah, remind him, thank you.
Okay. Any suggestions on what people could do as far as changing from summertime to winter? Because are a lot of the fires started by heaters? When people start using electrical heaters?
Yeah.
Any suggestions on what they can do as far as preparing for the winter
Yes.
before winter actually gets here?
A lot of times what we see when you get the first cold wave, people turn on the furnace, it doesn't matter, floor furnace, regular HVAC or whatnot. There's accumulated dust, so that causes a smell a lot of times. If you're scared, call us out. Anytime you have a heat source, like a heater that you would plug into the wall, make sure there is nothing around it. Don't put it on carpet, don't put it on anything that can burn. The worst you can do is put a blanket on top of it or near it, because that blanket will get hot. Another thing we see, we saw this last year a couple of times, people will have a floor furnace and they'll leave a rug on top of it. Because you're not using it during the summer, you put the rug on top of it, well then when you start up your floor furnace, melts the carpet, all that stuff burns really well. That's an excellent point. So any space heater, any furnace, just make sure you know what's going on.
And so what can people do as far as the dust problem in the vents?
Change your filter. That is hands down the best thing you can do to prevent that. Good question. Thank you.
Should people fry turkeys in the house?
It is November, let's talk about Thanksgiving. Okay. Do not fry your turkey in the house, on a porch, in your garage. If you've never fried a turkey before, do it with somebody who has. If you've never fried a turkey before, do not put it in frozen. It makes it a bomb, basically. Now, it's not, we're not talking incendiary bomb, but all that ice, when you heat it up, it expands. All that oil goes everywhere, it will catch the flame on fire, or the flame catch oil on fire. So, be very careful. Everybody thinks that they're the greatest cook in the world coming about Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is one of our busiest days because of cooking incidents. Thank you.
Yay.
All right, so we will move into our entrepreneur section. Again, these are some amazing folks doing some great work here in Wichita. And we will start off with Ms. Claudia Amaro with ABC Bilingual Resources.
Good morning, buenos días. Thank you for having me here. I'm really happy to be here with people that are doing great things. I don't know a lot of you, but I'm sure you're here because we're all doing our little thing in our communities. Well, my name is Claudia Amaro. I am an owner with my sisters of ABC Bilingual Resources. I always like to talk about our name because a lot of people think that we chose that name in order to be the first one on the Google. That's cool, right? And we're working hard to get it on the top of it, but actually it has some history. So my sister's names is Angie, Brenda, and Claudia. So it's A, B, and C. So just to check that. We are an interpreter and translation service company, but we also do, we're really looking into improving the quality of advertising and marketing for our Latino community and for everyone in general. We have been working on including a lot more technology into our services. For example, you can book an appointment online for us to come either to come and interpret for you or to do interpretations over the phone. We do, of course, the traditional, translation services on paper, the interpreting services. We do the simultaneous translation where you're speaking on top of the other person who is speaking the other language, in this case, English. And also the consecutive interpreting, that it's when you go to the doctor or school conferences, and then they speak and then we speak. The equipment for simultaneous translation though is very expensive. So we're trying something new and we're really hoping to use that more. For example, let's say in this meeting, we know there's a lot of Latinos moving to this neighborhood. And if we could invite them and they don't speak English, one of the things we're trying is a conference call number where they can have their headphones and their cell phone, and they can call a certain number that we can give them, and then we can have a simultaneous interpreter, and they'll be listening to everything we're talking here in Spanish. So that's something we're trying. We started this company because of the need we saw an activist in the community, and we sensed the lack, we all talk about this, the lack of diversity and inclusion, and we realized that it was also like a big part of the communication, and not only for those who don't understand 100% English, but also how do the local businesses are reaching out to us. You know, even if we understand English, even if we can hold a conversation, even if we can do business with everybody else with our basic English, who is reaching out to us? So one of the things that I talk a lot about is the Latino purchasing power just in Kansas is 5.6 billion. We're talking that it's around 2 billion just in the Wichita area, 2 billion. Now the sad part of that is that how our state and our city is struggling economically. So the sad part is that where those $2 billion go to? And I can tell you that they go to national corporations like Walmart, Dish Network, Budweiser, Coors. Why? Because they're the only ones talking to us, not only in our language, but if you see the national commercials, they have Latino people, they're dancing salsa, So they're talking to us, not only to say in Spanish, but they're talking to us in our cultural language. And that's something local businesses haven't done yet. And one of the things that I tell them is like, when we speak about interpreting and translation services, people immediately think schools, courts, and hospitals. Well, guess what? We need clothes, we need plumber services, we need electricians, we need beer. And local businesses are not reaching out to us, So that's the gap we really want to fill into. And it's hard to be an entrepreneur. It's not easy. But for me and for my sisters has been a really great experience to bring the passion that we have with our communities, something that we live in as children. We used to translate for my mom since we were like 9, 10, 12 years old. And one of the things that I share that a lot, or recently, is that it's sad sometimes that we relied on those kids to translate. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think that gave me and my sisters a lot of skills. But society now is moving so fast. And I worked for the Derby School District, and I used to see kids missing school because they're going to the doctor to translate for their moms. And now, we are putting even legal documents into the shoulders of an 8, 10-year-old where they have to sign a contract for a lease for rental or a lease for anything that the kid has to explain to the mom those, and we're just so used to that because when we offer services, they're like, oh yeah, but this woman, they always have their children with them and they can translate for them. We honestly don't think that's fair for many reasons. One of the experiences I share is the way I learned the word intercourse when I was 12 years old. I didn't know what that was, and when I went to my mom's doctor to interpret for her, and then he asked one of those questions, when is the last time your mom had intercourse? Excuse me? When is the last time your mom had intercourse? Oh, I don't know what that is, and then he's like, sex. I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to know that, right? So, even, when they do that in schools, when it's bad, we know the kid is not going to tell 100% of what the teacher is saying. But also when it's good, I think it's awkward because you have been doing such a great work that you want your mom to hear it from the teacher, not from you, right? I mean, you can tell that all the time, but I don't know. So there's so many things that we believe there's a big need. There's the other part where I don't think translators are valued in the Wichita area. We go to Kansas City a lot for different trainings, and you can feel that professional environment. Where here, if we still encounter sometimes when we offer the services where they, oh no, we have Juanita who does that all the time. And they really sometimes don't have all the skills to do a proper professional translation or interpreting services. So this is what we do. I'm open for questions about the business or about how we operate or any other questions that you might have.
Do it cost?
I'm sorry?
Do it cost?
Yes, yes. So we do a lot of donation to like nonprofits. We donate, like, we put together how much they charge. We also, our targets, we're really trying to make the professionals pay for it, because an attorney, a doctor, they're already charging, they can slide pretty easy $20, $30 there in order to give a better service to their clients or patients. On individual basis, we do give a lot of discounts. We like to be conscious of the need, and we help a lot of people in the community too.
Do you do documents as well, translate documents?
Yes, we do a lot of legal documents from, we have a lot of clients, even like attorneys from California and Texas, where we're even doing some of the legal documents from the border and stuff, yeah.
So we just send it a form or anything like that, you can translate it into Spanish?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can do that. We also have the consulting for your marketing. If you have a small business, we can come, and always the free consultation is for free, and we also help you navigate that.
My neighborhood is becoming more diverse, and my biggest problem is trying to get the Hispanic community to come to the meetings, and a lot of them won't come to the meetings because of the language barrier. And so if they knew that they could get an interpreter there, it would probably help attendance for them, so that they could know what's happening around them. I've got 12 languages spoken in my neighborhood, but the biggest is the Hispanic neighborhood. And so, I need to get with you, because if we can get the word out that they are welcome, they are invited, I think we could get more participation from the Hispanic community in the neighborhood.
And that's part of the consulting we do, because with the work I do in the community, I can tell you, and I can share this with you, getting the attention of the Latino community takes a little while, and it takes a little bit of work of getting the word out. Honestly, effectively right now, Facebook is the best, is the most effective, and that's another thing that we do. We manage your social media in Spanish, and it's very affordable. And if you have like a neighborhood Facebook page, because I can tell you with my experience that it takes about 6 months for them they're watching you and they're looking at it, but they're not even reacting, not even a like. After 6 months, you start seeing a like, and then eventually you start seeing them commenting. Like you said, if they understand the language and they notice that you're actually talking to them. So that's another part of creating a relationship. Our Latino community right now is living in a lot of fear, is living in a lot of depression, and is getting, and it's hard to get them out of their nutshell, but it's possible. I've done it in different fields and in different ways.
Yes, I see where you were talking about like the stores. I see in a lot of the grocery stores, they have like the Spanish or Mexican section, I guess to help them out, but anyway, after like 26 years on my job, I went over to Hermosillo to train them for my job, and I just love the Mexican culture, But anyway, like while I was over there, because it was the same thing, language barrier, but we had interpreters. But they were telling me, I did for probably almost 2 years, they told me I'm over there in their country, and I need to learn their language, And so, I'm like, but I just wanted to say.
And I can tell you, they're trying, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're trying, and then it's not easy sometimes when you have 2 jobs, but they're really trying, and I can tell you, and that's part of the consultation I do. I do a lot of a research, especially in Kansas, because you can get a lot of research nationally. But I can tell you, most of the Latinos in Kansas were mixed status families, and most of us have been over 10 years in this country. And I can tell you, most of us understand a conversation, and we try, but we're just really afraid. Or in, like, for example, my husband, he has a business, he can handle business very well, but he's all the time at home watching Facebook or videos in Spanish, you know, but I can tell you, you can have, and you can testify to that if you start talking to some of them, they can have everybody can have at least a very basic conversation with you. They're just really afraid, they're not confident, that Latinos in Kansas, we're not, if there's some Latino families new in Kansas, they're not coming from their countries, they're coming from California, Arizona, or other places. So they're trying. Thank you.
Do you know if there is a program in Wichita where people can go and learn Spanish to be able to help communicate with Spanish people because even in my neighborhood, it's a lot of Mexicans that they moved into my neighborhood.
Right. You know, I don't know of that, and I've been asked that a lot. There's a church that recently I had a meeting with the rector a couple weeks ago, and they asked me to provide a person to just have like a conversational class where maybe not that structured, but some practice and some basics just for that need of communication, and there's a lot of it. So I'm looking for to start a program for Latinos and for inclusion. And actually, so you'll hear some about it, and hopefully we can insert something like that there.
Even if you, just a quick suggestion, even if you get with the city
Mhm.
and do like one of those programs during the summertime.
Oh, you know what, I think Evergreen, one of those,
Yes, ma'am.
they have Spanish classes, and,
They do.
and the
Okay.
city, you go to the classes for the Parks and Recreation. I think it's at Evergreen,
You're right.
right? Yeah,
All
they
right.
do have Spanish class, thank you.
Evergreen Neighborhood Resource Center and Evergreen Recreation Center are in one building like Atwater and Lynette Woodard.
All
That's what
right.
she's speaking of.
Thank you.
Do you have any business cards or any
Yes.
way for people to get a hold of you?
Yes,
And
on that,
secondly, on her issue, Wichita State is offering, conversational Spanish next semester, because I went up there and kinda talked to them that we need some conversations. And so they will be contacting me, it starts in January.
oh, thank you for that information, and, yeah, there's some, brochures like this at that table. I have some business cards on my chair there and some more brochures. Oh.
Question, because we're trying to start a communication network here in our community and organizations, neighborhoods and stuff of this nature. So, do you have any suggestions or ideas of how do you get communication or networking out in Hispanic neighborhoods?
Again, I will say start on Facebook. That's really effective because people are afraid to come to you once you're familiar to them and you start showing pictures with people like them and stuff, that they be responsive. And that's the nice part of it, that once you get their attention, once you get them on your side, we are very loyal. We don't even need a translator anymore. Trust
Claudia,
me.
does your culture prefer Hispanic or Mexican?
Well, in Kansas, in Wichita, there's more Mexicans, but we have some Puerto Ricans and some people from South America and Central America. So I think Hispanic or Latino is better.
Latino would be,
Yeah.
Hispanic or Latino? Thank you.
There's a difference on Hispanic and Latino. Honestly, I don't care about that. There's people that have a preference. Hispanic is anybody who speaks Spanish, so they can be from Europe. Latino, it's people from Latin America, and that includes Brazil, who don't speak Spanish, so,
So we're safe with saying Hispanic.
yeah.
Thank you.
So before you leave, what are your top 2 challenges as an entrepreneur?
Just getting my message out and really and I think that's everybody's challenge in Wichita. Really, what I wanna say is to stop the talk about diversity and inclusion, and I want more action. So one of my biggest challenges is getting that action going.
Yay.
Thank you.
Councilmember Johnson, someone on Facebook says Rocket Spanish has a good, affordable audio learning program. Rocket Spanish. We're live on Facebook if y'all didn't know.
Yay.
All right, next, I told them that I would bring them up at 2 different times, because they're both awesome. And I didn't wanna diminish either one by bringing them both up, so we'll start off ladies first. Mrs. Frank. And she is an entrepreneur, doing some very cool things. So.
Hi, everyone, my name is Sheree Gray. And I guess I'll start off by saying I own Bella Custom Lipstick. I make custom lipstick. I really wasn't prepared to get up here and talk about this without my husband. But I can make any color lipstick that you want. I can make shine, matte lipstick. I just created a matte line, and I have my own special packaging for it, and it's something that you've never seen. I don't know if she can pull.
I got the,
She can put Facebook, Bella Lipstick on Facebook.
Okay.
Yay.
And she can pull this up. And you guys can order right through my Facebook page, on social media, through PayPal or Cash App.
Gotta get off of my Facebook page first.
You got something you want to interject, Ray?
Are you native of Wichita?
Yes, I'm born and raised in Wichita, Kansas.
How long have you done Bella Lipstick?
For 2 years. I started it in 2016. It was the idea that came to me from just not really finding the color lipstick that matched my skin complexion. So I began to mess around and mix colors years before I started Bella. That's my color chart. You can also send pictures of lipstick that you desire to have, other colors that you see on different lines. And we can custom make that. For older people, I might have to make special accommodations and come to you and make sure we get that right for y'all, because y'all a little more pickier.
What about hyperallergenic?
We can use certain ingredients to accommodate that.
So how about, ooh, there's one.
Any color, we can make any color.
So is it just lipstick only or like lip gloss?
Lip gloss,
Lip gloss, okay.
yes, you can make it shine, a matte color, semi-matte, where it's kind of in between, soft and a little. And what I have people do most of the time is take pictures and post selfies, so that they take a picture with the lipstick on and tag me in it.
Do they stain the lips?
I can make it where it can stain, but the foundation of my lipstick, it doesn't stain, but it stays on all day. You don't really have to apply or put on no more lipstick unless you eat some greasy chicken or something.
So what are your prices compared to the national brands like type, you know?
My regular bullet lipstick is $10. The matte lipstick is $20. So if you want like just a regular shine, yeah, it's $10. I think and you can always contact me. I don't have any business cards. We're all on social media. We got to get better with that, because we kind of just been catering to one generation. To the two, yeah, it's on that page, the new. He's gonna show you my new packaging.
Your physical location?
No, it's all online, it's not a physical, coming soon.
Yay.
Because I do have some ideas where I wanna be able to have people come in and create their colors themselves, where I have the base and then the colors, that we can put, that you guys can be able to just put the colors together and try it on.
So like a lip bar?
Yeah, something similar to that.
Yay.
So while they're looking for that, what are your top 2 challenges as an entrepreneur?
I would say overcommitment and endeavoring to do everything yourself.
So delegating.
Yeah, so delegating, getting and putting together a good team. There's my new packaging. You will not see this packaging nowhere else.
Cute.
This was something that my husband pressed for.
I'm over here. Y'all, real quick, what makes this amazing is because the foundation of what she the solution or is more of a liquid base. So there wasn't nothing that could actually nothing could actually hold it. So we were sitting here with this awesome. Well, I ain't never tried it. However, well, what I'll keep hearing, you know, the people that use it, like, oh my God, this feels so, and that's what she wanted to do, to actually take that dryness from the mat, you know, that you normally get. But what I love is leveling the playing field, because everyone's a professional now, because you have a brush with it, and it actually comes with it. So what's so